Hi guys, welcome to my video and my YouTube channel. Today we have a lot of cool stuff to talk about. It's been a long time since my last video, and that is because I've been doing a lot of cleanup in the project, in the blueprints. I started this game 6 years ago without knowing anything about Unreal Engine, so I have a lot of very sick code in here which is super difficult to work with and is very hard for me to understand myself. But we're not going to talk about that today. Today we will talk about all the new stuff for the Bone Glove. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee and some popcorn and let's begin. Okay, first thing first. Before I was able to do any new abilities for this game, I needed to redo the whole damage and health system for the game. The health and damage I had before was just not working as it should, so I had to go and redo it. And I will try and make this short. So what I did was that everything that can take damage now will have a health box in the actor. If it's a barrel or if it's an enemy, there's a collision box called health box. And the only thing that can overlap with the health box is the new damage box, right? So I also made a damage box. So everything that can make damage will have a damage box. And the only thing that the damage box can overlap with is the health box, right? Makes complete sense. The cool thing about the damage box is that it is now an actor. So I can just put that actor into a weapon or an exploding barrel or whatever I want to be able to do damage. And I have made a ton of settings for the damage box, so I can just click on and off what kind of damage it is. So the damage box will have settings like the damage amount, the critical hit chance, if it's a damage over time, or if it's a one-off damage like an explosion, or if it's a weapon damage which can hit multiple things at once and then reset when the swing is completed, right? Things like that. And having everything just in one damage box actor just makes it so much easier to work with. And I have talked before about how I have had so many problems with making damage over time. And I think the damage over time option in this blueprint is really good right now. I haven't seen any example of it where it doesn't work. And again, if I need to change anything, if it doesn't work and I need to fix something, I just do it in this one blueprint. And everything that does damage will automatically be updated. So I don't have to go into the fireballs or the weapon or the traps or anything. I just need to do it one place and it should work on everything. And that is super nice and very easy to work with. And of course, when I say easy, I don't mean it's easy. None of this is easy. It's a pain in the ass, to be honest. And again, I should have done this 6 years ago, right? But back then I didn't know anything about programming or Unreal or anything. So, I'm doing it now. So this new system, of course, meant that I had to go back to all actors which could do damage or receive damage and change everything up, right? I had to redo a lot of stuff in each blueprint to make it work. And that is one of those things that have been taking a long time, alongside a lot of other cleanup stuff, right? But it also means that I can very easily make new stuff for the game now, abilities and traps and whatever, because I have a very simple system now that I only need to change one place. Anyways, let's talk about the Bone Glove. So because of this new system, it's very easy for me to create new abilities, which means I've created 2 new abilities for the Bone Glove, which also means that the Bone Glove now have 4 abilities. So the way gloves works in this game is that when you pick up a glove, it will have a stat called magic power, or maybe just power, I can't remember right now, but it has a power stat, right? and all the abilities you get for that glove will use the magic power for the damage. So if I have a fireball and I have a glove that does 16 damage, then the fireball will do 16 damage. So every time you find a new and better glove, all your abilities on that glove will also be better. Those will have more damage. And I can tie that magic power stat into different things like radius on some spells or duration or things like that. But for now, the power stat on the glove will only affect the damage on the abilities, just to make it simple for now. Okay, so what abilities do we have for the bone glove? Well, the first ability, one of the first I made for the whole game, was the summon Undead ability. So you pick up the glove and you put a point into summon Undead, and when you use the ability you will summon a skeleton. This skeleton will help you out for 10 seconds and fight alongside you, and when the time is up he will explode and deal extra damage. He can also be killed by the enemies and traps and things like that. And when you upgrade the ability, he will do more damage. As simple as that. I think this is a super fun ability. And also some of the gear will also have a chance to spawn skeletons, like on critical hits or when Gorm takes damage and things like that. So you can end up with a lot of skeletons, which just makes it super fun to play. Another ability I have had on this glove for a long time now is the Gravestone, which kind of works kind of like a proximity mine. So you put down a gravestone on the ground, and when an enemy gets close enough, it will explode just like a landmine. When this Gravestone ability gets upgraded, it will just do more damage. Again, as simple as that. And there's not a lot more to say about this ability. It's just a fun, quick damage ability. Alright, let's talk about my new favorite ability, which is the bone spikes. When Gorm uses this ability, it will kind of work like a firewall. So it shoots out from Gorm on the ground, and these spikes will just pop up very fast and damaging anything it hits in its path. And I think it looks absolutely awesome. And it can hit a lot of enemies at once, so sometimes it's very satisfying to just hit a ton of enemies in one hit. With the sound, with the cracking of the bones coming up from the ground and hitting all the enemies. It just feels really good. Sweet. For now, it will only hit each enemy one time. It doesn't do any damage over time, even though it kind of looks like it could. But I have big plans for all these skills, and right now when you upgrade an ability, they will just increase in damage, right? But I have more ideas. I want to make a more complex system where you can upgrade specific parts of an ability, like the range or the lifetime or the damage, or secondary abilities like damage over time on this bone spike, for example. I mean, we have seen this in many games, so it's nothing new, but I think it works, and it makes it more fun to invest your skill points and kind of make each abilities your own, right? So yeah, this is the bone spikes, and it's absolutely fantastic. So the last ability for the bone glove is an ability called Restless Bones, and we have seen this in Diablo 2, where it's just a bunch of bones that is circling around Gorm, and whenever an enemy gets hit by these bones, they will take damage. Again, fairly simple ability. But it's a fun ability, right? And it's also a little challenging because you need to get very close to the enemies for it to work. Right, so it's a risk-reward kind of thing. And again, it's really fun to create these abilities, also because I need to keep them within a certain theme, right? This is a bone undead theme, so it's really fun to come up with these ideas and see if I can fit them into these themes. And again, when you upgrade this ability, it will do more damage, simple as that. And when you combine these 4 abilities together, you can get some pretty intense and awesome looking combat. And sometimes you feel complete invincible with all these abilities going on, with skeletons and bones flying everywhere, and the enemies are just, getting hammered, right? And that is exactly the feeling I want the player to get when he plays this game. He needs to feel like a badass, even though he's not. He can kill a lot of enemies really fast, but he's not invincible, and he can easily die if he's not careful on what's going on. And with all these new awesome abilities, I kind of feel sorry for the enemies now, right? They don't really have a lot of moves. They don't have a lot of defense or anything to spice up their attacks. So they kind of are just getting killed left and right. So I really want to go in and add more attacks and abilities to the enemies, so they have a better chance of survival, right? Also to make the combat look even more fun and awesome. And that is basically all I have for you in this video. I'm trying to make these videos shorter because, most people will probably not watch more than a few minutes of these long videos and then, close it, go and do something else, right? So I'm thinking if I make these videos shorter, then people might want to stay a little longer. I'm also thinking about trying to do some super short videos and just talk about one little thing, right? Like a few minutes long video. Like I can, for example, I could take the abilities and make ability spotlight videos, something like that. That doesn't take a long time to watch, and it will keep me pushing out more videos. But yeah, I won't promise anything, but I'm constantly thinking about how to optimize this YouTube channel to make it more fun for you guys to be subscribed to, right? So you don't think it's a completely dead channel like you've been thinking for the last 2 months, alright? And of course, if you like these videos, then please subscribe to my channel and like and all that. I shouldn't say this to you. You already know how it all works, but do it if you like it, right? I hope you like this video, and let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you next time.